back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video to watch. Today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be having a story time with you all. I want to say a big thank you for subscribing to my channel, each and every one of the 100 and over of you that have subscribed to my channel. I really expected to have more than that, like in the first couple of days that I posted on my channel, but it's showing me a lot. YouTube is showing me that, showing me patience, consistency, and all of that. I am going to try and work on the consistency aspect, but for now, I'm just trying to celebrate my little wins. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you subscribing. So when me and my sisters made the Who Knows Me Best video and they made mention of the worst day of my life, you guys tested me. Most of you all tested me and asked about what the story was and how it happened. So I decided to do a story time today and talk about what actually happened on the worst day of my life. God, I'm never going to forget that day. It was... Anyway, let's get right into it. So it was the early days of 2017. So yeah, 2017. I had gone to work, came back home very early. My sister, for whatever reason, decided that she was going to stay at work and have a night meeting. She always does that. I was new in town. I had gone to Takoradi to work, and during my working days, I had met a couple of people, and one of them was eagerly pursuing me. So when my sister told me that she was not going to come home for the evening, I called that guy up because it really was not a day that I wanted to stay home alone. Like, some days you just don't want to be in the house. It was one of those days for me. I just didn't want to stay in the house. So I called him and he happily told me that he's at my service. I wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to do the night beach stuff. So I called him and he said, oh, kindly just pick a car and come and meet me here, and then we'll go to the beach. So I dressed up, Obapa, my dressing. I shut up. And I picked the car and I went to see him. He met me at where he said I should meet him, which was nowhere near where the beach was, but he was a native of the place, so I trusted that he knew his way around. And so I asked him, what are we doing here? And he said, what did he say? He said, oh, I should just trust him. And I said, no, it's not like I don't trust you. I'm just asking where we are and what we are doing here. And he said, oh, just follow me. And I did. I love surprises. I loved surprises. I don't really like that kind of surprises now. So I followed him, and the next thing I knew, we were in a room. And I'm like, keep calm. Please, what are we doing here? He says, he feels like we should rather be playing the console rather than going to the beach. I'm like, man, I didn't sign up for this. I said I wanted to go to the beach. What are we doing in a room? It was almost 10 p.m. as at that time. And I'm like, oh, Ella, yeah, Afiya, Afiya stayed home. Afiya stayed home. Now I had to get all the, I had to get out of that room, because from the way things were going and from the way the guy was behaving, he didn't have good intentions. And Jesus, what do I do? What do I do? Like, I blasted all the tongues, all the prayers I know in the world, because it was not going down well. Like, the guy had noticed that I wasn't going to allow him get his way. So it was going to be, it's either you do this or like. So I called my sister. I don't even know how I called my sister. I don't know. I just called her and she said, I'm at this hotel, come to my place. And I got all, I don't know where the confidence came from. I got up and I told him, I'm leaving this room. Open the door and let me out. And then he said, okay, and he opened the door. God answered my prayers. Like, you guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I can't really do details. So yeah, he opened the door and then he got me a car. He said, okay, he's sorry, we should go to the beach. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I won't go to the beach again. I'm just going to my sister. And I went to my sister, and she was still having a meeting as at 11 o'clock. I don't know why this girl does that. She put me in trouble. It's her fault. It's her fault. I would have stayed home happily. So we were at the hotel, 12:30, 1, her meeting ended, and we were finally going back home. And I was just at the hotel all that time, reflecting on what had happened, taking pictures, and sending to friends and telling them what had happened and blah blah blah. And then we got home. When we got home, I just couldn't wait to go and sleep. So she was saying goodbye to, I think it was her business partner that came to drop us. Yeah, so she was saying goodbye to the person, and I just decided to take the lead and go home. And lo and behold, I got to our apartment and our lights were on. I really remember that I put off our lights. Like, I switched off the lights before I stepped out, because my sister is always beating me about not conserving energy. So I was like, I did put this off. I really remember. And I was like, let me hurry up and then go into the room and then put it off before she comes. Like, no. Did I want to put it off? No, but I was going to the room so that she would not notice that I didn't put it off. Immediately I opened the door, the lights just went off. And I looked around, and the lights were still on, like, all around us. And I was thinking, is it my brother that has come into the... I saw a male figure, so my mind just began just calculating things. I thought of Nicholas. Probably he's the one who has come into this room, and before, like, my mind could settle on anything, somebody just pounced on me. Yes, pounced, like, macho. Chino, machino. That kind of pounced. He pounced on me, and I was holding my phone. He was this short guy, like, very short, tiny. And he was... I didn't understand what was happening. So when I just realized it was... you have to fight this guy off. And I started fighting him. And I saw that I was winning. And then he tried, come and see my shoe. Like, oh. I was fighting. I was beating the guy. No, I was not beating the guy. But I was fighting. Like, I was fighting. And I was screaming too, because it's like an apartment complex. And every single body could hear me, because I was on the top floor. So the down would hear me, our neighbors would hear me, everybody would hear me. So I was just screaming on top of my voice. So when the guy saw that I was, like, dominating him, he just took out a knife and told me to shut up, or else he will stab me. And so I stopped screaming for a while, because the knife scared me, but I thought of the possibility of surviving. My sister was not coming, so I had to scream a lot more for my sister to hear. At this point, I saw that my neighbors were dead when they sleep, so they weren't going to come out. So I needed to shout louder for my sister to come. Plus, I needed to save my phone. I didn't know where I was going to get another phone. Stupid of me. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to save my phone. At this point, he was pointing the knife at me, and he was, like, trying to grab my phone that was in my hand, and I had just held very tight to my phone. So in a split second, I just started screaming again, hoping that my sister would come. And then he stabbed me like you guys should have seen me. Like I've always wanted to be in a movie, right? So my life, it was like I was outside my life and I was looking at my life, and I was like, this is the real me and this is the actress me. The one that has been stabbed is the actress me. And the producer has said, action. I went back and I leaned on the wall and I went down. I started going down. But guys, yeah, seriously, I was rehearsing how I am going to die because I felt the knife inside me. I felt the pain, and I just left the phone, and I was going down, 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 and I didn't pass out, but I went on the ground like, and that was when my sister decided to show up. The guy jumped off the wall, and then he went off. And so when my sister came, I was down there screaming in pain. And then we took off the knife. And this is where we start singing, our God is a savior, our God saves, because the stabbing didn't stop. Like, I felt the pain, everything, but it just didn't enter. And when my sister was, I usually consult my sister when I'm dressing. So when I asked her what to wear, she said I should wear this skirt, and I decided to throw a jacket on the attire she asked me to wear. So the knife got stuck in the jacket, like when it stabbed, it got stuck in the jacket, and it couldn't penetrate fully through the skirt. So although I felt the pain and everything, like the skirt saved me. Like it just didn't enter. Like I felt the pain. Oh, I felt the pain. I felt the pain. I felt my intestines twist. I'm not lying. Yeah. So. My sister came, she was crying. My sister was crying. My sister on the floor. Whoa, what am I going to tell my parents? Like, me the one dying, no. I've stopped crying and I'm looking at her like, hey, sister. She's crying like, she doesn't know what to, oh my God, oh my. It was so fun to watch. No, was it fun? At that instant, it wasn't fun. I was thinking of my stuff, but after everything, when I recall it, it's so funny. Like she was crying. She was crying. She was all over the place. I think she went on the floor crying. Yes, she came to sit by me on the floor. Oh my God, she was doing all the movie things. Oh my God, Allah. Yeah, that thing. And then we checked and the site was clean. Like, so we went to the hospital, and they checked me. They checked. They checked me. I want to thank my sister. Like she called everybody. Like she was calling them. Hi, doctor. No, that's me. Yeah, when your sister knows people, it's good. Because at that midnight, I don't know which hospital would have gone. So we got somebody to come and pick us. We went to the hospital, and then they checked and they said no internal anything. I don't even know what we were thinking. It didn't cut. It was just some scratch, like some, you can see a chat kind of, but and yet stab. Yeah, that kind. So they just gave me painkillers for the pain. They said probably it's just the impact, no, like the force now, or the act of stabbing, no, nah, it made me feel the pain. So they just gave me painkillers, and we came home. And around 6 o'clock, our neighbors came around. They were like, "Oh, how are you?" So we are fine. We heard some screaming in the night. What was happening? They heard us screaming, like they actually heard. They heard. So, but they left me to die. Like, die, die, die. They left me to die. They wanted me to die. So that in the morning they'll come and, oh, our condolences to you. Oh, we are sorry. Would you have come out if you heard your neighbor screaming in the middle of the night? I really don't blame them, but they could have tried. They could have tried. They could have done better. Because, yeah. But anyway, God saved me. I didn't die. That day I was supposed to die because the armed robber really meant to stab me to death, because apparently I intimidated him. He was shot and I was trying to bully him and he got angry. So he really meant stabbing me. And yeah, but God saved us. I didn't die. They weren't able to steal all the things they wanted to steal. When we finally came back home, they had gathered all the things that they were going to take, so they would just throw it off the wall to the people on the other side, but they ran away. They were not successful at everything. I couldn't sleep. Oh, I think I left something out. After the hospital, when we got home, we had to go and make a police report. We went to the police that very morning. The police they didn't care about how traumatized I was. They were just asking questions. They made us bring the dress that I was wearing, the skirts, the jacket, and everything. And apparently the armed robbers were on operation, and so they had robbed a couple of people, and they got to our place the time that I got home, like some few minutes earlier than the time I had gotten home. And so the police were going to help us apprehend. They were going to apprehend the robber and use us as witnesses against them. So they kept in touch, and instead of doing something better, they were going to woo my sister. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? But yeah, so I think 2 days later, my sister was like, "We can't stay here. We can't stay here." And so we were on our way to Kumasi. The 2 days later, but we passed by a wedding. According to my sister, she didn't want my parents to worry that much, so she wanted me to release tension and have a feel good factor before I go home. I think it worked a bit, but yeah, I still had all my nightmares and did all the crying and everything to my mom. Oh, my mom. My mom. I'm saying it and I'm laughing today, but it was not a funny experience. Like, it was not a funny experience at all. My mom had to sit by me for a lot of nights because I had nightmares and I couldn't sleep, and I still am scared of seeing someone, like an image of me when I sleep. So when I sleep and I feel like somebody is standing, it just wasn't a nice experience at all. But glory to God, he saved his daughter. The girl is safe and sound, and I give all the glory and all the honor and all the adoration to Jesus Christ, my Lord. He saved me. It's no coincidence. Like, the knife could have gotten to any other part of my body, my chest. The guy is short, so he didn't have to do any. It would have been effortless to get any vital organ and stab, but by God. So this, I'm taking Kwabena Edisman Carter's words, and I am saying it's hard to be God. It is definitely God, because no one else can save like this. So all glory to God. Yeah, so that ends my little story time with you all. I hope you like this video. I hope you like. Let me know in the comment section if you like my story times. I am going to do a lot more. I have a lot to share, you know. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think about today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please do subscribe, share, comment, like, do all the things we do for YouTubers. I love you, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.